everyone, it is me, Christian Pine over here, back again, and today we are going to be customizing this beautiful Percheron stallion. Now, I got him off eBay, and he has definitely seen some better days. He definitely has a ton of scratches all over him, but it does seem that the model is perfectly wonderful, and I'm super excited to paint this guy. So here's a lovely close-up of the boy. He's definitely got a lot of scratches. Once again, he's definitely seen better days, but I'm super excited about customizing him, and I'm going to make him look like one of the new SSO Percherons. I'm going to make him look like that flaxen chestnut one, and once again, I'm super excited to get started. And I'm also going to be showing you some behind the scenes and tips that I do that I normally don't show. Alright, so this is one of the very first things I usually do to a model. I'll usually do it right as I get them, so typically this has already been done by the time I'm painting them. I just take a damp paper towel and I clean them off. I also grab Q-tip and get one end wet just to get into all those cracks and everything, and then I have a dry one to dry him off, and the other end of the Q-tip is also dry. So I'm going to go ahead and clean him off a little. By the way, I do not use soap just because, well, he just needs the dust removed. He doesn't really need any super cleaning, but if I ever found major dirt on them, then I would. And that is about as exciting as it gets to clean the model. I know, not super exciting. Now it's time for me to get all my paint stuff out, which you guys have seen several times on this channel, and a ton of you guys have said on Instagram to me that you just love those quiet scenes with music playing in the background and just watching me paint, which I'm so glad you guys love those scenes. Well, I won't be doing as many of those because I've done a ton, but I will try to show as much as I can, and I will also put up a picture during this video sometime of what he is going to look like, because he's going to be looking like the chestnut in SSO from the Percherons. I am also planning on buying that horse in SSO, which I don't have it yet, but if you would love to watch me buy that horse, just tell me on Instagram that you'd love to see me buy the real one in SSO. So I'm once again super excited because this is my very first SSO custom. So now let's get painting. Alright, here's all my craft supplies in one scene. So I have some cardboard for like my background and some newspaper on the bottom, just in case if there's a little overspray. I don't want to spray my table, and my lovely airbrush, which we all know I love. The airbrush is amazing. Once again, I suggest getting one. Got white acrylic paint. I have chestnut, classic caramel, my fingernail polish to make its eyes all nice and shiny, and some sealant so I won't get scratched as easily. And I have one more little thing to show you all that I typically don't show you all. Alright, it's this lovely spiky purple mat. So one side it's spiky, and on the other side you have a ton of holes. I love to lay this mat out to put my little air compressor thing on it, because for some reason it has this major obsession of wanting to vibrate off my table, and this thing has definitely been a lifesaver. I put the spikes down on the table, and then I put the little feet on it, put the little feet of the air compressor in the holes, and then it no longer wants to vibrate off my table. So I definitely suggest getting one of these, and I don't remember what this is called, sorry, but it definitely works, and I typically don't show it, but you've probably seen it in the background before. And with all that said, I'm gonna get started. Three things I forgot to mention is I usually bring down a bowl of water and these little medicine cups to thin out the paint. I also bring down toothpicks to stir it, and then I'll pour it into my airbrush, simply because I don't like to stir it in here because of the little metal piece in there, and if it were to get broken, then my airbrush won't work It's honestly really sturdy. I just don't like to stir it in the little cup, but if you do, that's perfectly fine. Alright, I have primed him. He is looking really good. When I just prime a horse, it just looks so much fun, because especially when they've been scratched up and everything, it disappears, and I absolutely love using my airbrush, which I know I've said a ton, but I love it so much. So, and another thing that I just love about the airbrush is that I can do several thin coats super quickly, and another thing is, since it's so thin, it dries really quickly, so it doesn't take it super long to dry. But if I am in an impatient mood, I will sometimes take the hair dryer to it. So right now, my lovely little airbrush over here needs a little cleaning. So I will usually use my little squirt thing over there that came with the airbrush and squirt some water in here and dump it out. But I have actually found the best thing to do is to unhook it from its hose, take it upstairs, or, well, for me to take it upstairs, but simply just use the faucet and run it under and just continue dumping it, and then I'll put a little water in it and air it out until it's clean. So that is what I really like to do with my airbrush. So now I'm finally going to give you guys some little techniques on how I airbrush the horse and how I just have learned how to do shading with it, and I'm super excited, so I'll be right back. Alright, so my pretty boy back there is kind of pretty much all dry now, but right now I'm going to go ahead and mix chestnut and white together to get a kind of lighter chestnut color, which he is on SSO, because my chestnut is a very red, and when I do mix colors together, I tend to make a lot of it because it is a mixed color, so I just don't want to run out of it. And I know with my airbrush, a little bit goes a long ways, but once again, I don't want to have to remix this color as much as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and mix them up, and I'll show you some shading. Alright everyone, I'm ready to show you some shading. So I'm just going to talk first, and then I'm going to show you how I shade, just because my air compressor can be very loud and kind of annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to shade along his neck and his face, then I'm going to shade the center of his belly, and then go along his back, and then kind of do his bottom, leaving these areas lighter. But then if I do hit them, I will just go back and do them later, because that's just how the airbrush works, and it is so amazing that I can go back and forth between light and dark. So I'm now going to go ahead and airbrush him. Alright, and that was about how my shading technique works. I know he doesn't look the best right now, but after a few little coats here and there as I kind of come in and go out, he will look amazing, and I'm going to repeat this on the other side, so I'll see you all in just a second. Alright, and this is what he looks like. His base color is officially kind of done. So now what I'm going to do is on his top layer, I'm going to make it darker, and on his bottom layer, I'm going to make it lighter, which I kind of already have. And of course, along his belly here, I'm going to try to add those dapples. So I'm super excited, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, back again, and this is what he looks like with some darker shades. I think he looks so cool. See, I did some shades along his bottom there, and I did some right there behind on his throat, and on his chest, and on his front legs, because I'm trying to make him look as much like the SSO model as much as possible. So I think this project is kind of teaching me some new shading techniques that I didn't realize I was going to be learning today, and I think he is looking absolutely gorgeous, and I am so excited to see what he looks like when he's done. So now I'm going to do a little bit of a lighter color start on his belly, and for little dapples, I think I'm going to grab a paintbrush and try to tap those on to make them look as good as I can to get those cute little dapples and speckles. So I'm so excited because then I'll get to work on his face, which I absolutely love working on the horse's face. I don't know what it is about the face, but I just love working on it. It's just so cute. Alright everyone, I did his undercoat and I've added some of his dapples. They're not the best. I know, I've tried several techniques and they could have been better, but honestly, it kind of turned out how I expected, and I think they're super uber cute. I tried my very best to copy the model off SSO, and I think he's turning out super cute. I still love them. They're very cute and speckledy, so I'm so excited. I'm now going to start on his adorable face, so I will see you once his adorable face is done. Oh my goodness, you guys, this face is so cute and so precious. You can't tell me that's not looking cute. I also did some shading in some other areas. Now it's time for me to do his mane and his hooves, which I usually do those with a paintbrush. I'm gonna leave my airbrush out for a little longer because I'm gonna use that with my sealant, my matte varnish sealant, because it does cover it much better and then you don't have to paint it. It will take several more coats to do it that way, but that's just what I'm going to do. So now for me to paint his mane. Alright you all, the mane and forelock are painted. If you notice that it's really shiny, it is because it's still wet. I think it looks so cute. The mane does look white, but I actually added a little tiny bit of classic caramel to it, so it is a very tiny bit off-white because it is a flaxen chestnut. So next I'm going to be doing his tail, and he is looking so cute. Alright, and his tail is done. His tail was quite hard to do, especially on the inside, so I did take a toothpick and try to do it the best I could. On the ends of the mane I did use a toothpick as well, and he looks so cute. Last but not least, I need to do his hooves, then I finally get to paint seal him and call him done. So once his hooves are done, I will see you again. Alright, and his hooves are done. They're a little darker than kind of what I wanted, but they are still super cute. Now it's just time for me to paint seal him. Then I'm going to do his eyes, and then he will be done. Oh my goodness, and I still can't get over that face. Oh my word, so cute. See you all in just a second. Very minor and sad update. As I was airbrushing, I forgot that I should spray it a little first before I actually do it on the model. So now there is a slight gray spot here. I tried to clean it up the best I could, but it might be permanent. It was the black from his muzzle and eyes, so I think it came out okay, but it kind of done some stuff, so we'll see how well it looks in the end. So I'm currently a little disappointed right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and airbrush him and see how he looks. Alright, and this pretty boy is done. You can definitely still see his little spot there. You can kind of only tell if I point it out, but you can definitely see there's like a gray line there, gray, and some gray down there. And the gray here doesn't look as bad as up there. And you can also see those marks as well. I kind of wish it happened on the belly, but definitely a mistake on my part. But you wanna know what? That face is just so cute. It's okay. I'm definitely disappointed about the spot, but maybe I'll just pretend that maybe he laid down and got a little dirt spot on him. But he's still super cute, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take some adorable pictures of him. The Percheron is the oldest draft breed in the world and perhaps the most beautiful. These heavy horses were originally used to carry knights in armor into battle. Some fun facts. These graceful giants can live up to 30 years old and can get up to 18 hands tall. These beauties came from France. You can find them in a variety of different colors such as dapple gray, black, bay, and chestnut. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Philippians 4:13.